I am back home, as you can tell from my co-star, or actually just the star of these videos, Carson, my dog. He is back behind me, and we are back home after the 2025 CrossFit Games, which feels crazy that it's over already. And by the time you're watching this, it's been a week since it ended. And we crowned Tia the fittest woman on earth for the 8th time, and Jason Hopper for the first one. But we are going to start this video by actually going backwards, pre-games, to something that was announced before the games, and maybe one of the earliest times we've ever had this announcement. And that is the CrossFit Open dates. Before the CrossFit Games for 2025 even started, before the first event got underway, we knew that the 2026 CrossFit Games season, the Open, would start on February 26th, potentially the earliest we've ever had this information before. And what does this mean for CrossFit to be announcing this super early? I think it's a good thing. I think we can only look at it as a good thing. Could it have to do with the potential buyers? The fact that CrossFit is up for sale? Yes, I think it almost definitely does have to do with those potential buyers. But I don't know if we actually know who the buyers are quite yet. And I don't think that it has sold quite yet. And that is just my prediction. So also before the CrossFit Games, Barbell Spin put up this post saying something is happening August 11th. That is Monday, 1 week, about 8 days after the CrossFit Games ended. And I think a lot of people were predicting this was going to be an announcement of the new owner. That's not what I've been hearing. I've been hearing from some people that I've talked to in the space over the last couple of weeks that there are still a couple people in the mix, that we aren't at the point that there's one person who is just getting their ducks in a row and just needs to sign on the dotted line. There is still negotiations, still looking at the assets, still a lot of things happening, I believe, in this process. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I mean, I don't work for CrossFit. I am not part of HQ. I don't have all the information behind the curtain, but I do know people and I do consume a lot of information from the space. And that is the vibe I'm getting, that August 11th, while it might be an announcement of some sort, I don't believe it will be an announcement of new owners for the CrossFit Games. So this Open announcement being super early does not have to do directly with new owners. Indirectly, I think it could have to do with potential new owners and the idea that there will be new owners. I think CrossFit right now needs it to look as successful and positive as things can look. And I think having the Open announced early, telling the affiliate owners at the affiliate gathering, getting those people who are investors in CrossFit, who pay to use the CrossFit name, making them happy, making them feel secure is going to look good when you're selling. And it's going to create a more positive environment. I think with the Open and with a lot of affiliates, there's a lot of managing that has to go on. There's a lot of trying to figure out when you're going to do the Open, when it's happening, how you're going to work your hours, when's Friday Night Lights going to be? Are you going to do Friday Night Lights? Are you going to do the workouts on Saturday? Are you going to program them as your class workouts? There's a million questions, and having things as early as possible so you can prepare is going to make the affiliate owners happy. Having all of us as CrossFitters have this information earlier makes all of us happy. We can plan around that. If you're planning a trip, now you know when you might not want to go away. And we do also know now that the final week of the CrossFit Open is going to coincide with Wodapalooza and its new dates in March. So that's also another thing. That does that mean something? Is Wodapalooza going to be part of the CrossFit season to some degree? Are they going to do something for the Open? Are they going to host an Open announcement? It opens up a lot of questions there too. But I think it is a positive. I think it's creating stability. And I think with CrossFit being in a place where we've basically always being in a place where things have been changing radically all the time, where the season's always new and everybody complains about that, or some people complain about that. Having this announcement early looks very good. And what do you do when you're trying to sell your house? You make upgrades. You clean your house. You make sure it looks good for potential buyers. This is making things look good. Speaking on that same topic of making things look good, CrossFit went through a whole rebrand at the games this year. In some ways, there's a lot of things that look similar. The logo looked similar to last year's logo, and they did rebrand a couple years back. But when it came to the merchandise, what they were selling in the CrossFit store looked totally different, but also kind of a nod to CrossFit's past, a nod to CrossFit's roots with a lot of the phrasings that we were seeing on some of the gear. So I did not take pictures of it. I should have. But you know who did? Scott with Clydesdale Media. He took some pictures of it. So I'm going to pop up a little video of him showing some of the gear there.
So there's the Pukey shirt.
Oh, is that what Bryson had on? Yeah.
So that is out, and you see it's got the full CrossFit logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think they've brought back Forging Elite Fitness.
So we have some cool things like Pukey the Clown, which I think is something that CrossFit very much took a hard pivot away from. But clearly with that shirt brought back, Hiller had that shirt. I thought about getting it, but I just don't think I'm as cool as Hiller to pull that off. But then there were other cool shirts, like one that looked like the Metallica logo, a lot of things that said Forging Elite Fitness. And a lot of the stuff that Scott was showing didn't have 2025 logos on it. So it could be stuff that could potentially end up in the CrossFit Games store, or the CrossFit store more so. I checked, it's not there yet, but could. I bought some things that did have the 2025 thing on it as well, though, the 2025 logo. So I got this water bottle, this Yeti water bottle. And on the other side, we've got Forging Elite Fitness, which is a term that I personally love. And I've talked about it actually in some other videos that I've done. And for a long time, and still now technically, the tagline has been Forging Elite Fitness. If you've been in the CrossFit space for some amount of time, I'm sure you've seen this somewhere. And I love it. I don't think they need to change it. In fact, I think they should lean harder into it. And I think CrossFit's marketing strategy right now is an agreement. I got this shirt, which again has that 2025 logo on it. And then the back, it looks like this. But on the sleeve, we again have the words, if you could see it there, Forging Elite Fitness. So I love that we're going back to this branding. I think it's the right direction. I think that a lot of the people who are still in the CrossFit space after we had a very tough 2024 are people that are deeply rooted in CrossFit, that have been doing CrossFit a long time, and that really believe in this methodology and believe in it at its roots, at its CrossFit L1 level roots, at like the CrossFit.com type roots. And I think that works well with the Forging Elite Fitness. So I think that the people who CrossFit is trying to appeal to right now, I think the people that remain in CrossFit, that remain supportive, are people that would resonate with this, and they're making the right moves, in my opinion. And I think making these moves is related to the sale and trying to really lean in to what CrossFit is. And I feel like when you're trying to sell something to someone, knowing who you are, knowing what the brand is that you are selling is significant. So seeing these changes, I think, is a significantly good move, a move in the right direction. So what could this August 11th that barbell spin mentioned be? I'm not really sure. I don't know what they'd be announcing August 11th. It could have more to do with the season structure. Maybe instead of the Community Cup, it goes back towards quarterfinals or some sort of combination of quarterfinals and the Community Cup. I'm not sure. I know people liked quarterfinals. A lot of people did. I didn't mind it. I wasn't heartbroken when it went away, but some people were. So, I mean, maybe something like that. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it was just good engagement for barbell spin. I always respect people who get engagement and who create success for themselves. So I mean, I don't care. I don't think anything bad about it. What I also think it's not is an announcement for where the location of the 2025 CrossFit Games is going to be. I don't think we know that information yet. I don't think CrossFit knows that information yet. I think they're getting close. That's what I've heard from a bunch of people. I have heard locations, but 2 specific, distinctly different locations. Well, maybe not distinctly different, but they are different. 2 different locations, different parts of the country, all in the US. I don't see the CrossFit Games for the 20th year going outside of the US. I don't see them going outside the US yet for more reasons than just the 20th anniversary. I think that it's just not ready for that yet from a financial standpoint to take the risk of going overseas. I think it'll be well received by a lot of people overseas, but I do think financially moving all the equipment over there is some challenges there, moving all of their people that usually travel from within the US to Europe. When CrossFit is trying to look profitable, I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. But I have heard they're getting close to a location. I don't really have any reasons to believe either of these 2 locations other than people being very hopeful. So I won't say where they are because I don't want to contribute to like misinformation in that way. But I do think just saying that the way I said it should give you an idea of where those 2 locations might be. But I don't know if either of those seem feasible in my brain either for different reasons. And maybe if the location ends up being neither of the 2 that I've heard, I will explain why I didn't think they would happen in a future video. But I also definitely don't think it's going to be Albany, although I think the energy in Albany was amazing, but it has nothing to do with Albany. I just think the people there were very excited about CrossFit, excited to be at the games, and excited to move CrossFit into a new era, which I think is something we are doing right now. CrossFit is in the middle of a transition period, and I think we're getting towards the end of it. I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I think that the games and the way they were received is proof of that. I saw this post from Adrian Conway with some takeaways from the 2025 CrossFit Games. And one of them was the community momentum is building and you can feel it. The crowd, the energy, the vibe, even through a screen, it was undeniable. CrossFit's roots are reconnecting with its fire. The people are showing up again and the community is waking up with purpose. I agree. I think that's what I felt there. And it was so what people and the community needed this year. Was it my ideal CrossFit Games? No. And some people have asked me, because I think people could sense that from watching it back home where I live. Some people at my gym asked me like, oh, was that the best CrossFit Games you've ever been to? I mean, probably not. Personally, I really loved in the past having an indoor and outdoor element to the games, and getting to have those out of the box movements and those crazy things that we've seen in previous games that we didn't have in this very in the box games. But I think this in the box games was what the community needed now. I think it was the perfect games for this time. Not the best games ever, but the ideal games for the time, the space, the vibes that we've been in this community. So I was very happy being there. It was an awesome experience. I am very hopeful for the future of CrossFit. And I think all these things I talked about in this video, these things that we know already about next year and the unknown, I think it's all heading in the right direction. Maybe I'm overly optimistic. Maybe I'm overly hopeful. But you know what? I would rather be in that place than be pessimistic. So for now, when things are looking good, when things are looking like there's just potential, right? Like that's all we have right now. We don't know who the owner might be. There are some names circulating, but we don't know. Right now, we just have potential. We just have hope. So let's be hopeful. I'm going to be hopeful. Okay. I appreciate you all for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe. And we'll say hi to my pup. Carson, he was chewing a bone. Come here. Carson, the vlog missed you. Come say hi. Yes, lots of kisses. Oh, say hi. Oh my gosh. You're doing funny things. Carson, you want to say hi to the mic? No, you don't like the mic? Okay. Well, we appreciate you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. You're such a good boy. Okay. Time to pay attention to you again. Time to pay attention to you again.